Stakeholders urge federal government to enhance revenue generation to reduce debt profile. Pakistan Army calls for unity as two former prime ministers claim victory. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Details of the news. I am Priska Wanko. Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has extended felicitations to the Archbishop of Onitsha Archdiocese, the Most Reverend Valerian Okeke, on the occasion of his 22nd Episcopal Anniversary celebration. According to a statement by his press secretary, Mr. Christian Aburume, Governor Soludo, while congratulating Archbishop Okeke on this momentum occasion, also highlighted the Archbishop's dedication to the service of humanity and God. The statement said the governor further stated that these selfless dispositions have earned the Archbishop profound respect and admiration from the people of his community and the state. Governor Soludo also applauded Archbishop Okeke's efforts in his support for the poor and downtrodden in the society, which he noted have been commendable and worthy of emulation. On behalf of the government and people of Anambra State, Governor Soludo sends his congratulations to Archbishop Okeke on this milestone anniversary, as he also prayed for God's continuous guidance and protection over his life. Anambra State Governor's wife, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has cautioned parents against giving out their underage children as maids and leaving servants. The governor's wife, who was speaking in Okar, observed that children in the most vulnerable age should be learning the basics of life and not sent out to face uncertain environments. We have details of this report from her.
Mrs. Soludo noted that the growing cases of abuse of children by their presumed guardians and caregivers could be averted if parents can resist the temptation of giving out kids as house helps for whatever reason. She explained that children at early stage of life should be learning from their parents and wondered why a child who could barely bathe himself or herself should be sent out to do major chores in another woman's house. Mrs. Soludo also noted that a parent's primary responsibility should be to take care of own children, teach them the values of life and how to be the best in whatever they do, pointing out that giving out a kid at early stage of life is selling them out to slavery and danger. The governor's wife, who acknowledged that economic difficulties faced by most families can play a major role in the act, however explained that there is no justification to sending a child away when they should be in the care of their parents. She also asked parents to be mindful of who they give their children, to take out time to study the temperaments of the person, and to always check up on the children to ascertain their welfare and comfort.
I always say, I don't know whether women or women might not be happy with it, but I always say the primary responsibility of women, number one responsibility are these children. Whatever we are doing, we must put them first.
The Anambra First Lady, who reaffirmed her commitment to fighting abuse of women and children in the state, restated that Anambra State remains a red zone for abusers, traffickers, and those who have no respect for human dignity. She also asked anyone who notices any incidents of abuse to, as a matter of conscience, report to local authorities for immediate intervention.
Giving back to society that made one was perhaps the force behind the move by members of Igwebike Old Boys Association, OKA, who are repositioning the school to make it conducive for teaching and learning. This was the high point of speeches made by members of the association who spoke to ABS correspondent Ngozi Obiliri at the ongoing construction of a mini stadium to boost sporting activities in the school. Her reports.
Aside the school gate, the perimeter fencing of the school was another major project carried out by Igwebike Grammar School, Oka, Old Boys Association of Nigeria, alongside administrative building, housing, staff room and other offices, including secretariat of the Old Boys that is well equipped, principal's office, classrooms for junior secondary 1 and 2 students among others. Presently, construction of a mini stadium is ongoing in the school, courtesy of the Old Boys Association. Speaking after taking the ABS around the project they embarked upon, the national president of the association, Chief Nnamdi Nwobu, said that in 2013, Some of their members met and had a common goal of changing the aesthetics of the school, and their decision was put to action some years later. Chief Nwobu, represented by a former principal of the school and chairman, media and marketing subcommittee of the Old Boys, Mr. Gabinus Uka, noted that the gate of the school was nothing to write home about, as at that time, while many buildings were dilapidated until they came in and did total overhauling of the environment so as to create better atmosphere for quality teaching and learning.
The gate was the target. And when they made that gate, the gate opened and people started coming in. And when they come in, they will now see a very ugly structure here compared to the gate. And now the Old Boys now started changing the structures. And now, for now, if you come into the gate and come to the school, you see almost equivalent.
The administrative work, it was dilapidated completely before they renovated it. You can see how beautiful it is. They've done other places, the school wall, the gate, the principal's office, the classrooms. So we are very grateful to the boys.
Other members of the association, a football coach, Chief Paul Obiako, Brother Alex Orowu, who is the publicity secretary of the association, and Mr. Ikem Chunwoba, the architect that designed the mini stadium, noted that when completed, the stadium will not only boost sporting activities in the school, but will help in talent hunt, as it will be a rallying point for school sports in Awka and environs. They appealed to the Anambra State government to help them financially to ensure that the project is completed in a record time. Some students of the school, Mrs. Tubem Johnson, Chikwado Ozalo, and Daniel Mmaduagu, thanked the Old Boys for making their school stand out through the renovations of some buildings in the school, praying God to bless them.
I want to thank the Old Boys for the renovations in the school compound. We thank them for building the staff room and everything.
I'm thanking the Old Boys on behalf of the junior students for what they have done in the gates, in JS1 block, JS2 block, even the principal office and the hall. I say that we the hostel, we the school people, we highly appreciate.
Worthy of note is the band group of the school, which performed for the media during the visit, where some school children danced to the admiration of the Old Boys.
Amidst chorus of cheers on the corridors of Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS resonated with jubilation as management and staff came together to honor the acting director of News and Current Affairs of the establishment, Mrs. Judy Jeff Nwabweze, on the occasion of her birthday. Gathered within the confines of the radio news section, accolades were lavished upon the celebrants. Emmanuel Chibota takes the story from here.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Extending his congratulations to the celebrant, the managing director of ABS, Sashido Obidiegu, hailed Mrs. Nwabweze as a paragon of responsibility, trustworthiness, dependability, and leadership, describing her as a shining example for all within the establishment to emulate. Addressing the staff, Sashido implored them to emulate Mrs. Nwabweze's dedication and commitment to duty, emphasizing that the celebration served as a moment for introspection.
That we should emulate. Her decency, her courage is something that I ask other ladies to emulate. Her candor.
The immediate past director of News and Current Affairs Department of ABS, Mr. Gabe Opaleze, extolled Mrs. Nwabweze's virtues as a relentless achiever and an invaluable team player, urging the newsroom staff to give her maximum support to succeed. In a gesture of solidarity, the Director of Administration Department of the establishment, Mrs. Tina Ekenta, commended Mrs. Nwabweze's kindness and offered prayers for many more fruitful years ahead.
I thank God for His mercies, protection, guidance, and love to all of us. Today, He has done it to my colleague and my friend.
Acknowledging the outpouring of affections, Mrs. Nwabweze expressed gratitude to the Almighty God for the gift of life and the opportunity to celebrate her birthday in her new role as the Acting Director of News and Current Affairs Department, having marked the previous year's milestone as the Public Relations Officer of ABS, thanking staff of the ABS for celebrating her.
I'm overwhelmed, I'm really happy for today. I thank God for that. It's not by my making. God has been so merciful to me, to my family. I just want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of us. Thank the MD Absentia for making out time to come and celebrate with me. According to the biblical injunction, I should celebrate with those that celebrate. And I keep thanking you for your cooperation, for your loyalty to me. It's not by my power.
Present at the event where the Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Anambra State Chapter, Comrade Ngozi Obileri, the Assistant Governor, Rotary International, District 9142, Mr. Abuchi Nwozo, while chorus of joyous birthday melodies by the ABS staff added glamour to the event. Emmanuel Chubata for ABS News.
Members of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYC, and Anambra North Chapter once again demonstrated that youth are the bedrock of the society when they paid a charity visit to inmates of Onitsha Correctional Center. The visit, sponsored by the patron of the group and President General of Umueri Progressive Union, Chief John Mechie, was aimed at reminding youth of their role in nation building, including those at the State Correctional Center, and to give them hope of a new beginning if they imbibe the reformation they receive at the center. We have details of this report from him.
The visit, sponsored by the patron of the group and President General of Umueri Progressive Union, Chief John Mechie, was aimed at reminding youths of their role in the nation's building, including those at the Correctional Center inclusive, and to give them hope of a new beginning if they imbibe the reformation they receive at the center. Chief Mechie, who was represented by Comrade Joshua Winner, regretted how some youth engage in different forms of crime that jeopardizes their future, and called on those at the Correctional Center to be mindful of the act that brought them to the center and use the opportunity of their incarceration to have a rethink about their life, reconcile with God, and vow to become better persons when they come out. Chief Mechie, while regretting the economic situation in the country, admonished the youth to be calm, remain law-abiding, and engage in meaningful ventures that will better their life in due time, and eschew any act that could mar their future. On his part, the zonal chairman of NYCN, Comrade Peter Nnekwe, told the inmates to humble themselves and accept the information they are given at the center, and always pray and believe God that one day they will be freed and will become better persons. He noted that as youth leaders, they are not happy that many youths are languishing in prisons, while there are lots of responsibilities awaiting them for the growth of the society.
We know that some of our youths are languishing in the prison, and so we know that all the people are here, all of them are not guilty of the offense they are facing.
On his part, one of the advisory members of the group, Engineer Anthony Aniebre, said the condition of the inmates at the center gives them concern, as they were supposed to be outside molding themselves for the future. He said they were being detained for different reasons, adding that the most important thing is that they use the opportunity for sober reflection, have remorse about their attitudes, and reconcile themselves with God and man.
Our intention for coming here is to give them hope, give them courage, at least let them know that it doesn't end here, that after here there's still new life. Okay, there is still need for them to make amendments of the way they live their life. Avoid getting involved in things you don't know about.
The Onitsha South leader of NYCN, Comrade Franklin Onyeke, thanked the prison warden for their effort in reforming the inmates.
Anyị bịara na Onitsha Correctional Center ka anyị ga-efu ndị ntorobịa nọ si ebe a riri nne. Ọ bụrụ ihe ịgba anya mmiri. Anyị nyekwara ha ndụmọdụ dị iche n'iche nke ka abụ ịmara ihe ọ bụla mere gị bụ ihe ọ adịrọ mma iji maka wee bịala ebe a. Ịnachi ya azụ emezikwana ya.
The visit featured presentation of gifts to the inmates, which was carried out in the absence of the media. Esther Asanya, ABS News.
Reports say Nigeria is facing critical economic challenge marked by substantial allocation of federal government revenue towards debt servicing. And this has led to a decrease in funding of crucial sectors such as health and education. It is said that as of December 2022, 80% of Nigeria's total revenue was dedicated to debt management. Princess Ikwi Ajide of Abuja Bureau has the details.
Against this backdrop, some economic experts called on the federal government of Nigeria to expedite action to end incessant debt servicing. Briefing journalists in Abuja, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center CISLAC and Tax Justice and Governance Platform raised concerns that in the 2024 budget, the pattern of bloated recurrent spending, new borrowing, and unsustainable debt servicing costs still persist. According to the Executive Director of CISLAC, Awal Rafsanjani, if nothing is done urgently to checkmate Nigeria's debt service, which presently stands at 8 trillion naira out of the 28 trillion naira in 2024 budget, development in critical areas like healthcare and education will remain undeveloped. He opined that even though the President Tinubu-led administration has shown commitment to revitalizing the sector by allocating more funds to social services in its 2024 budget, it still does not explain why Nigeria will spend 6 times more on servicing debts rather than providing amenities such as schools and hospitals in 2024. The Executive Director, Extractive 360, Juliet Ukanwosu, on her part, is of the view that the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning and related agencies can enhance revenue generation by expanding the tax net, improving tax compliance in line with progressive taxation principles, while the Country Director, Accountability Lab, Harry Ude, believes there will be improvement in deploying the principles of transparency and accountability in the administration of tax expenditure if civil society organizations lead the way. They are of the opinion that the current economic situation in Nigeria demands immediate strategic intervention, as it is characterized by dwindling government revenues and escalating public debt owing to government's persistent reliance on borrowing and loss of substantial revenue through tax expenditures. In Abuja, Princess Inkwi Ajide reporting.
The children of Mrs. Blessing Ejiofor of Ebu Umuemem Otolonewi have celebrated their 80-year-old mother in grand style. The celebrant, Mrs. Ejiofor, visibly jubilant, seeing her children celebrating her while she's still alive. Correspondent Justice Onyomibu found on this report taken from our studios.
Mrs. Ejiofor was seen dancing and rejoicing, as well as thanking God who made it possible for her to be alive to witness such an event. Speaking during the event, one of her sons, who is also the chairman and chief executive officer, Fela Ejiofor Foundation, Mr. Ndubisi Ejiofor, noted that their mother deserved to be celebrated for the love and care she showered on them and for raising them in a godly way, praying God to continue to bless her and give her more healthy and fruitful years ahead. In an interview, the Chief Protocol Officer to the Governor of Anambra State and Deputy Chief of Staff to the Governor, Chief Chinedu Nwoye, thanked Fela Ejiofor and his siblings for remembering to host such an event on behalf of their mother, praying for God to continue to bless them bountifully so that they can continue to take care of their aged mother. The event, which took place at the compound of Satochukwu Ejiofor, popularly known as Asiwaju, attracted dignitaries, government functionaries, relations, friends, and well-wishers, including members of Redeemed Christian Church of Godebu Umuemem Otolonewi, cutting of cake, special dance by the celebrants, church service, and handing over the keys of 2 brand new motorcycles to indigent widows formed the high points of the event.
Pakistan's powerful army chief has urged the country to leave anarchy and polarization behind as two ex-prime ministers declared victory in an election that has defied expectations. with most results in. Independent candidate linked to jailed former PM Imran Khan have won most seats. But Nawaz Sharif, another ex-prime minister widely seen as having the army's backing, has urged others to join him in coalition. Officials have also rejected Western criticism of how the election was run. With no clear outcome, General Asim Muni called on all parties to show maturity and unity, saying that the politics of polarization did not suit a progressive country of 250 million people. 14 National Assembly seats are yet to be determined, all in the vast and sparsely populated Balochistan province. But both Mr. Khan and Mr. Sharif say they have won. Governor Chukwuma Soludo was among the millions of Nigerians who stayed glued to their television set to watch the pulsating semi-final match between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Bafana Bafana of South Africa last Wednesday. The details of this report from here.
The tension-soaked match, which went into extra time after both teams played out a 1-1 draw, saw the Super Eagles overcoming their eternal arch-rival through a penalty shootout of 4-2. Governor Soludo, who expressed excitement over the outcome of the match, described it as dramatic and scintillating. The governor commended the fighting spirit and tactical discipline of Super Eagles, adding that the team has once again exhibited the resilience and never-die spirits of Nigerians. The governor congratulated the team and urged them to go all out in the final to win the coveted trophy for the nation. It will be recalled that Governor Soludo has consistently supported the Nigerian national team right from the onset of the AFCON tournament till semi-final encounter with the Bafana Bafana of South Africa, which ended in favor of the Super Eagles.
Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS on many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television Okar. Follow on X at ABS Radio TV. And on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. To end the news this morning, a recap of the main point. Governor Soludo has lauded Archbishop Okeke on dedication to service of God and humanity. Wabike Old Boys Association, Okar, has embarked on mini stadium project to boost sporting activities. Stakeholders have urged federal government to enhance revenue generation to reduce debt profile. Pakistan Army has called for unity as two former prime ministers claim a victory. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And I end First News at this time on ABS Television. Thanks for watching. I am Priska Wanko. Good morning and happy Sunday.